Donald Trump's mugshot is here. Here's a clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mugshot has arrived. In fact,
Yeah,
the image we saw
mugshot.
was real.
Wow.
It was real. It was a photo of the mugshot. And CNN is reporting this is the Fulton County mugshot of Donald Trump. This photo is history in the making, and I'm sure it will be on a plethora of T-shirts
Yep.
and posters.
I can't wait.
I would.
I'll hang one behind me.
You guys.
I
feel free to make
probably
this,
actually am
but,
going to do that.
I
That
think
sounds hilarious.
we'll make one. We'll take that image of Trump. We'll put it on a poster so it looks like the Obama Hope poster, but it'll say revenge instead.
Ooh, revenge.
And I would like to put one of those posters up, and probably just how can we give them out
I'll
for
put
free?
it.
Can we like
Give it to me for
give
free. I'll
posters that
put
of
it
Trump just
by
says
my
revenge?
We could
thermostat.
just do a mailing. Like
Yeah, you
anyone-
could do a PDF and people could print it themselves in all sizes, right?
And then anyone can just take it. That's
Well,
a
I
good
could just
idea.
make one
so, I don't know,
myself.
do we have anyone from the crew listening? They can just make it. And
I'll
then
make
we'll
my
just
own.
Publish it and be like, there
Donald
you
Trump
go.
mugshot.
Revenge.
I'll put
The
mugshot
mugshot is
on
here.
mine. It's kind of generic.
You know,
but
and some people were
mugshot.
saying the fourth surrender would be meaningless and it would not matter. Nah, this is
No,
this
we
is
wanted
it.
that
This is the moment. The other ones
mugshot.
were like slow build up. This right now with the mugshot.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Don't-
unpardonable. So this has the teeth.
I mean, New
because-
York is unpardonable. State charges,
Okay.
but it wasn't election related.
Right. And
This
Stormy
is
Daniels related. Boring.
clearly political for one simple reason: the most famous man in the world does not need a mugshot.
Oh, yeah, true.
Trump
Facts.
can't walk down a street in Peru and not like Trump can be in Utqiagvik. How do you pronounce it? In Alaska, and they're going to be like,
Hey, Trump.
Trump-
Of course.
Trump could be in the Aleutian Islands on an abandoned military base, and if anyone walks by for any reason, maybe, the only place Trump can go where they need a mugshot, North Sentinel Island.
I
You can't. There you go.
wouldn't last very long.
They'd be
North
like,
Sentinel
"Who's?"
Island.
It wouldn't last. But that's the only place in the world, except for like uncontacted Amazon tribes, I guess. But if Trump went to North Sentinel Island, they'd be like, "Who are you?" Actually, they wouldn't say English. They'd just be like, "What is this?" Like it's some crazy guy.
did you see his truth about that?
No, what did he say?
Oh, God, it was hilarious. He was talking about, he goes, I have to put up a bond because of a flight risk. And he said, well, gee, I wonder, would I possibly be leaving on my plane, my ever unrecognizable plane with a giant branding on it? He goes, no, perhaps I should fly commercial because no one would recognize me there.
Trump
Go
Force One.
incognito.
Yeah.
Yes, it was hilarious.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
hilarious.
this is something Trump proves over and over again, which is that he is the entity in and of himself. He's recognizable, and people will flock to wherever he is. The Tucker interview had 100 million views in less than.
Yeah,
8
it had like
hours?
250
Yeah,
in
it's like
less than.
220 to
It's
30.
insane.
24
People
hours.
want to know what he's doing. There's no way that he would just not be noticed if he tried to sneak out of the country. And also, he's running for president, so, he
dumb.
probably doesn't want to leave. He
Yeah,
probably
he
wants
doesn't
to
wanna
be here
leave.
on purpose. I think the mugshot is just for Democrats to fundraise on.
You
and
don't
that's,
think it'd be a good idea for him to
And Trump.
campaign to people in like somewhere in South America?
I think he can do whatever he wants. I
Does he
just
take
think
his
if you're the
detail with him?
America First president, you
Right.
want to stay in America.
He's going to take a Secret Service detail with him on his flight.
Yeah.
Out of the. I mean, it's just so ludicrous. Why is there a bond?
Where do you
why
wanna
is there a
go?
flight risk?
Tell
It's
me.
so
Because it
obvious.
We'll go where you
intimidates.
guys want.
And also,
This isn't
We'll go
all
together.
about government intimidation.
why isn't the bond higher? That's
Exactly.
my current one. Like,
It should be 200 million. If it's
200
a
million?
If they were
if it
really
was a
scared.
legit bond,
Yep, I agree.
it would be 200 million or $2 billion because he really is a flight risk and it's a problem. But 200,000,
Imagine-
that's pocket change.
Imagine a
Yeah, for
mob
Trump.
boss indicted on all these counts, RICO. They would not let him go. There,
Mhm.
anyone else, and that is not even high crimes. If it's like the mob boss was engaged in a criminal enterprise where they were selling drugs, and they were organizing and doing this and doing that, we believe that he's a major flight risk. We're not going to let him out. They'd be like, "Yep." And the lawyer would argue, be like, "How dare you, blah, blah, blah. He's innocent until proven guilty."
How
And they'd
dare
be
you.
like, "We have a preponderance of evidence." Donald Trump's accused of trying to overthrow the government. You'd think for that, they'd be
Allegedly.
like, "We ain't let this guy anywhere. We're going to cut off his communications. He's dangerous." Nope. They're like, "You're free to go, sir. Have a nice day." Because it's political. They want to campaign off his mugshot as much as Trump wants to campaign off his mugshot.
Yep.
The danger is if both sides are using civil conflict for fundraising and generating votes, it only ends in one place. You eventually end up with a politician saying, Look, they said, vote for me and I will put them in prison. Trump said it first and then didn't do it. Then they said it and now they're doing it. Trump gets reelected, revenge. He starts doing it.
Revenge.
Then they're going to say it's illegitimate. At what point does someone say no? And then there's a clash. I got to tell you, I'm looking at these videos and I'm having scary, eerie feelings. What is the legitimacy of the squad car in front of the jail taking Donald Trump in on these BS fake charges? The police in Georgia, my fear is the actions they have just taken. There's a photo of them like Trump's walking out and they're in front of them and things like that. It makes them look like they're illegitimate and they have no authority. I'm imagining this scenario. A police officer is, imagine this. There's a cop standing on the side of the street. A homeless man walks up and says, I want you to arrest that woman. And he goes, you got it, boss. And then he goes and does it. And you're watching it happen being like, why are you arresting that woman? That's just some random homeless guy. What we have here is, that's my analogy. I don't understand how they can expect to maintain a view of legitimacy of law enforcement when, one, crime is skyrocketing. People are ransacking Nike stores and malls and grocery stores, and they're not arresting these people. With the COVID lockdowns, they punished regular innocent people, and already conservatives were outraged. There's the videos of the cops stomping on the thin blue line flags.
That's nuts.
Now you have more than half the country, slightly more, that believe this is political and illegitimate, and they watch a police officer engage in plainly political, illegitimate behavior. The only thing now stopping people from disrespecting the rule of law is a fear of violence. That was a large component of it. But there was often, I would say in this country, there was a fear of a respect of authority and a fear of being shunned by the community. So it wasn't just that the cops could assert force over you. For many people it was. But for a lot of regular law-abiding citizens, it's the wrong thing to do. We respect the police. The police don't respect you. The police are letting criminals run rampant. The police arrested that poor young man in New York who tried to save people on a train. The police arrested Kyle Rittenhouse. They put him in jail. How could anyone watch what they're doing to a former president and think the police are acting in a legitimate way? When I looked at the live video they had outside the jail, and you got the squad car there, I'm just like, it looks like a clown car to me. I don't feel it anymore. I do not feel it. It feels like these cops are derelict. It feels like they are illegitimate, and that worries me because if I'm seeing this now, and I'm not even the biggest Trump guy, I can't imagine what anyone else is thinking about it.
Yeah, it's impossible. I mean,
It's interesting though, because most Trump supporters still support the police. I don't support the police, but at the same time, to make some really good points, it's just like the following orders thing, you know. And when I don't know, it's laws are laws, right? They're supposed to enforce the laws, so yeah, it's really complicated. Because if people are like raiding a Nordstrom or something, the police are like, nothing we could do. We're just hired to enforce the laws. The cops stomping on a thin blue line flag, like what are you doing? It's like the people that support you. It's like, no, they don't even want it. But I mean, there's a lot of cops, so it could just be, a small group. But they probably shouldn't be cops.
History guy here. Does this remind you of anything else?
Not in this country.
No.
I mean,
What but other it reminds you of other countries,
yeah,
right?
that's now I'm interested.
Exactly.
What other countries? Yeah,
well, I mean, you've got Brazil.
The most recently with Lula and
yeah, I mean, Glenn Greenwald talks about it, and then from my understanding, Korea's been doing it. It's common in Eastern Bloc countries, things like that.
But what about historically? When countries fall into revolution, regime change, war, civil war. I mean, a lot of people have said there are similarities between this and the Spanish Civil War. I think I've heard that the most. That what's going on here tracks alongside the Spanish Civil War more than anything else.
I haven't followed it, so I'll take your word for it on that.
I don't know. I
have to go look myself. I don't know anything about it.
It just seems bizarre that this would be the route that, we take now. I mean, I was reading CNN today and they were saying this is unprecedented. First time in history something like this has happened. You want to say, you think that's a good thing? Like, do you think this is the direction you want to take the country? If you're the party that's in power, is this the precedent you want to set I mean,
Yep.
theoretically,
It's
if
interesting.
the scales tip back,
Yeah, it could just backfire on them. They're nuts. They're like, okay, yeah, let's do this. But if Trump gets elected, he's going to go in. I think it's just going to backfire on him. So I guess we'll see.
Trump's elected.
Or novel. How many times have you heard the word? That's
Coronavirus.
novel charges. We've
Novel
never seen
coronavirus.
novel
favorite.
charges. Never. The
Never
RICO
before
Act
seen.
is novel. Jack Smith is novel, which means we're making this shit up as we go.
Where is any Republican to do the smallest bit? Don't get me wrong. Like federally, we got Jim
Yeah.
Jordan saying, I hereby demand with a strongly worded letter, I want to see what you've got in your documents. And it's like, well, she probably crumbled that up and threw it in the trash, blew her nose in it first.
Yeah.
Where's the subpoena? At the state level,
She
where are the
doesn't
indictments?
care. She doesn't care at
You've
all.
got, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to ask, do any of the strong worded letter is obviously ridiculous, but at the same time, does he have to issue it to give her a chance to turn over the documents before he can get a subpoena? Like, I don't know what the
I'm not
legal
sure because
procedure is.
questioning her could be part of the investigation,
Mhm.
right? I mean, we want to bring you in and talk to you about what's going on because how do we determine what we're charging or what we're actually writing out?
Right.
Get your ass over here.
Mhm.
We got a problem. Come on up here.
It is crazy that she's not in D.C. answering questions.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Tim Cat.
Very, very interesting. Yeah. Kind of interesting how all this is playing out. But I'm just glad they released that mugshot. It's pretty funny. But yeah, they make some good points. It's really interesting how things could play out in the future. But, I guess we'll see. Let's play another clip.
Yesterday, as I'm sure you heard, the most iconic photo in really all of human history was taken Donald Trump's mugshot. Not just of
Mugshot.
our lifetime, not just of this century, which is really only 23 years, not just of the last 100
Well,
years,
the last 100
but
years.
really
Could argue
of
that.
all of human history. A former president of the United States, the
Mugshot.
frontrunner in the current election cycle, arrested for trumped-up charges for doing the exact same thing that Democrats did and tried to do when he was first elected back in 2016. Of course, I will be putting it on a t-shirt for you in numerous different styles, and already would have had that,
Everyone's
except
doing
I don't
it.
know what happened with
I
my
think I'm
graphic
going to make
designer.
one.
I think he just totally flaked on me, or he didn't understand the urgency when I said as soon as
Get a new
possible,
designer, bro.
meaning right now. And the software that we use to collaborate, we use a special software, isn't sending out notifications. So
Get
be
new
patient. I'll
software,
have
too.
them maybe later today
Mark.
or this weekend. I'll post an update
What are you
on
doing?
the community tab. And I searched Google for the most famous photos of all time. I know Google is evil. I just wanted to see what the mainstream search results were for that topic. And Trump's photo definitely eclipses all of them. You probably have seen some of these. The guys eating their lunch, the steel workers out sitting there on the beam of a skyscraper that they were building. This photo, of course, celebrating Victory Day over Japan during World War II. This list has Gandhi and his spinning wheel. Not sure what's so special about that one. This one I'm not going to show. It's a horrifying scene from the Vietnam War. Tank
Yeah.
Man, the Chinese guy
that's
standing
something
in
to
front
show.
of the tanks in Tiananmen Square in China. This one, the Afghan girl, the girl with green eyes. So I would say by far, Donald Trump's mugshot eclipses all of these. And what's really
Definitely.
interesting is what this meme illustrates, because both
Loving the
Trump supporters,
mugshot. Trump
and
supporters,
Trump
Trump
haters
haters.
were extremely excited about the mugshot being released. The Lincoln Project, those never Trump phony Republicans who turned on Donald Trump back in 2016 and then made an absolute killing cashing in on the gullible Democrats who just gave them a bunch of money so that there could be a group of a half a dozen supposed Republicans who were against Trump.
Supposed.
They posted this. I would say it's a moronic meme, but the meme itself is actually great. I'm sure they stole it from Republicans because I've actually seen almost identical ones on our side. Their intention behind it, however, is moronic because they are celebrating the release of the mugshot 2. Live reaction to Trump's mugshot photo, they say.
Former president of the United States moving to show it to our audience now. This is just a striking image.
This guy, however, is even more out of touch. He posted the clip of Kyle Rittenhouse breaking down on the stand, which became a meme, and then captioned it, Republicans after they see the Trump mugshot.
No, I'm in the bar
No,
with the other
moron.
people.
We were looking forward to
Woo!
it even more. than-
Mugshot!
Up until yesterday, the most iconic mugshots of all time would
I'm hyped
probably
about
be a
it.
toss-up between Frank Sinatra's and Martin Luther King's. Frank Sinatra's was actually sold, I remember, on a t-shirt back in the 90s at Spencer Gifts. Then, of course, there's this mugshot of Nick Nolte, an actor who I literally can't even name a single movie that he's been in, but his name sounds familiar. He was an actor back in the 80s, maybe the
Tropic
90s.
Thunder.
Still, the title holder for the nerdiest mugshot is held by Bill Gates, who was arrested, I think, for reckless driving back in like the 1980s, speeding in his Porsche. And the title holder for the hottest mugshot is still Paris Hilton, who was arrested for a DUI back, I think, in like the early 2000s. And if there is a silver lining to this situation, I try to make light of it the best I can. This is just some gallows humor because I don't think most people understand just exactly how bad things are going to get in America. But
Yeah.
Donald Trump is back on Twitter, now rebranded as X, posting his
X.
first tweet since the mostly peaceful protest shortly after January 6th, when he was banned from all big tech platforms. Posting the mugshot along with the caption, "Election interference, never surrender," and a link to his website, donaldjtrump.com. Last night, pretty much all night, on CNN and MSNBC, they used split screens with the Operation Mockingbird assets on one side of the screen and Donald Trump's mugshot on the other.
To me, this is justice. The fact that Manhattan didn't give him a mugshot, I thought was offensive. I thought that the Fed said, well, I know what he looks like. He was the president of the United States. Okay, offensive. Everyone else had to take him. This case, and I think Fonnie Willis is a hero. She is a national hero because she
is unwitting.
If you don't know the beeping, it's like from Mark Dice does this. There's this guy, he's like a lower class guy. He's like a teacher and he sued New York. And he could barely, he was hard to understand. And he just, he just had his smoke alarm going off in the background when they were interviewing him. Now he puts it behind. It's so funny.
Helping me put out what will ultimately be the best t-shirt of all time. Again, you got to be patient. They're going to be great. I could have slapped something together last night, but I wanted to have my guy do it professionally, so they're going to be worth the wait. And if you think Donald Trump is having a rough life these days, imagine being Ron DeSantis and listening to and believing the Republican establishment whispering into his ear that when the indictments come, Donald Trump's political career is going to be finished. He's going to tank in the polls. Nobody's going to support him. Only his poll numbers have skyrocketed, and Ron DeSantis' campaign has cratered. And instead of vigorously defending Donald Trump against the deep state, against these trumped-up charges, against the Marxist revolution that we're in the midst of, he's just still running for president, and this was his response to Donald Trump's latest arrest.
Governor, what do you think about this split screen of you here in the Field of Dreams and former President Trump being arrested in Georgia?
Well, I'm glad I'm at the Field of Dreams. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
challenging Donald Trump for the presidency is going to be the biggest mistake of Ron DeSantis' life. Instead of just standing down and waiting to see what happened, or to see if maybe he would drop out to deal with the charges, or to see if he has a health issue, which he still may, and have to drop out, he could have easily then entered the race and been a heroic savior, cheered by the entire party.
Vivek would have
but
beat him
instead,
still.
his campaign has been an utter embarrassment, and the longer it goes on, the dumber he looks. Like I said, I'm going to get the Trump mugshot shirts as soon as I can. I'm going to replace this mock-up photo that I put out a couple months ago with the actual mugshot. There's
That's
another
going to be
design that I'm
awesome.
working
Wanted
on
for
as well.
president.
Get him out.
That's
as
going to
soon
be
as I can.
awesome.
So depending on when you're watching this, they might be.
Yeah, Mark Dice. Check out his shirts that he's gonna have out. He's probably gonna have some funny ones. He's probably gonna do a bunch of them. Yeah, I'm excited about the mugshot. You know, I've been waiting for it. It's a historical picture. The left is dumb. They're so dumb. Like, come on, what are you thinking? This literally is gonna be the most famous picture in history. What does Trump always wanted? Trump loves this. He probably rehearsed that thing for years. That's why it looks so iconic. It looks awesome. Perfect. It's a perfect mugshot. You know, other people say it's not for me to say, but I think it's a perfect mugshot. You know, that's awesome. He's just going in for that mugshot. Oh, that's awesome. And they just cemented him in history. I think that's why Trump, a lot of it was why he ran for president. I think it was to help the country. I definitely believe that. But on top of that, I think he wanted to be cemented in history, right? He puts Trump on everything, right? So now my name's going to be cemented in history because of this mugshot. The only president in history. They don't know what they're doing at all. They're just trying to get some money campaigning on it. They don't understand, wow, you just did this and you just cemented Trump. You gave him exactly what he wanted. Exactly what he wanted. He just got it. And the left handed it to him like it was a bad thing. Like, no, we got to do the mug shot. You know, it's going to make him look bad and I can campaign on it. Well, maybe so, but he can campaign on it too. And, you know, that's how it goes. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for daily news updates, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and share your thoughts on the story in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.